the Howells from Gilligan's
A
Island.
millionaire and his wife.
I am Thurston Howell the III, and this, of course, is my wife, Mrs. Thurston Howell the III.
Here are some classic moments with Thurston and Lovey.
Sorry, folks, but money can't buy happiness.
Anyone who says money can't buy happiness doesn't know where to shop.
You don't know what it's like out there in the ocean. You may be bitten by a shark.
A shark bite a Howell? He wouldn't dare.
Now, the first thing you use, my dear, is your driver.
My driver? Don't be silly, darling. You know perfectly well my chauffeur's back home. I believe his name was Charles, wasn't it?
No, darling, I'm talking about clubs.
Oh, well, of course. He drove us to all the very best clubs.
It's all right. Now, here you are. I'm sorry I even brought it up. There you are. There's the driver. Now, the first thing you do is get a good grip, and then you address the ball.
Hello, Ball.
Lovey, I told you to hurry and get dressed. Look, we've missed the cocktail hour.
I phoned to ask Gilligan if I could help him with his fish trap, but he said he first had to do a favor for Mr. Howell.
Aha! It was a favor.
Your Honor, I want to file charges against Marianne.
Against Marianne? For what?
For murder.
Murder?
Her testimony is killing me.
Captain!
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh,
Lovey, she was supposed to serve you.
Why, do you know what it would take? It would take a polyester derivative of an organic hydroxide molecule.
What's your language? Presence of a lady.
Forgive me.
Besides risk, we're facing a time problem. You see, the fuel in this jetpack has given me a propellant potency retention problem.
How dare you talk that way in front of my wife? There's no one there but Gilligan and Marianne.
Exactly. Romeo and Juliet. Thurston, have you been eating brandied peaches without the peaches again? But the professor's wasting his time on a tycoon.
No, dear, that's not the typhoon. You see, a tycoon, that's a man with money like myself. A typhoon is a big bag of wind.
Thurston.
Never mind what you're thinking. No comment. I may enter that woman in the Olympics. I'm sorry I dozed off, but I threw on the first thing I could find, and I came right over.
I don't know whether you know it or not, Mr. Howell, but I think you're wearing your wife's bathrobe.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought my cashmere jammies had unraveled. Tickled my fancy. How long before Gilligan revives?
About 45 minutes.
Hope Ginger has a lot of veils.
You've got to forget everything else. You are the skipper. You are the skipper. You are the skipper.
All right, sailor boy. Stomach in, chest out.
I won't stand for mutiny on my ship.
Your ship, I'm the skipper.
I'm the skipper. It's my ship.
what's happened to Gilligan?
Thurston.
I have never in my entire life.
Don't just stand there, Mr. Howell. Talk into a fish. You got to come out here.
Talk into it.
Talk into the fish.
Oh,
Trying to find a transmitter.
Hello there. This is Thurston Howell. Yes, I want long distance.
You mean all 7 of us are going to live in one hut?
It'll be a lot quicker and a lot easier if we all pitch in and work together. Remember the old saying, united we stand.
In a hut like that, that's the way we'll sleep, too.
Oh, what I meant was that this particular type of fuel loses its potency when it gets old.
Nonsense, Professor. Haven't you heard? There's no fuel like an old fuel.
Dear Thurston, how long do we have to do this pacing thing?
We figure out how Gilligan reads minds.
Well, why don't we just walk up to him and ask him?
Well, I did. And he said that he didn't know.
Oh, well, you can believe him. If there's one thing that boy can't do, it's tell an untruth.
Yes, I know, my dear. It's so revolting. Lovey, if anything happens, I want to thank you for 15 of the happiest years a man ever had.
Thurston, we've been married 20.
I know, but the last 5 years have been a little shaky.
Oh, Thurston, darling, you're all right.
Of course I am, Lovey.
I was talking to my husband.
Gee, Mrs. Howell, does that mean we're married?
Francis said terrible things were happening, but I didn't expect anything like this.
Sturdy bit of construction, if I say so myself.
Thurston, what on earth is that on your forehead?
Oh, it looks like water. I wonder where it came from.
Thurston, I know what it is. I used to see it on our gardener. It's perspiration.
It is? What can I put it in? I've got to send it to Dad. He'd be fascinated.
You know, Thurston, the last 5 years hasn't been any picnic for me either. He came at me with that frightful look that you get when you're about to foreclose on a mortgage.
Egad, what a frightening experience. And not a moment too soon. I've already missed 12 board meetings of 6 of my corporations. Or is it 6 board meetings of 12 of my corporations?
Poor Thurston, you do have problems.
It is rather difficult being rich. If it weren't for the money, I'd rather be poor.
You know, I really wouldn't mind being poor if it weren't for just one thing.
What is that, my dear?
Poverty.
You're so...
We'll get the professor.
No. Don't go away. No, I won't.
Don't you care that Gilligan and Marian haven't shown the slightest romantic inclination toward each other?
Well, of course not, dear. If they could manage on their own, they wouldn't need me, would they?
Hey, wait, you're the skipper. It's your duty.
But you're an executive. You know how to handle these matters in a businesslike way.
Well, that's different if you want to handle it in a businesslike way.
Then you'll handle it?
Yes, I'll dictate a letter and send it out in triplicate. Oh, dash it all.
What is it, dear?
I forgot to show him my perspiration. I wonder if I could do it again. Come along, Lovey.
You see, Thurston's just a little bit jealous.
No, I'm not jealous. I just don't want him slobbering over those expensive gloves. Come along. They're at the beach, on the boat.
On the boat? Oh, what's so fantastic about that?
Well, you don't understand. They're on the boat. No, they're against the boat. They're attached to the boat. They're even mounted there.
Like the moose heads in Thurston's trophy room.
I saw some shale rock formations where we could dig a well if we all pitch in and help.
Well, count me out. When I sink a well, I usually strike oil.
Yeah, some people have a green thumb. Thurston has an oily one.
No! I will have no part of this cold-blooded, nefarious female scheme. Yes, my boy, a man doesn't start living until after he's married. Civilization, Lovey. Wall Street and the Harvard Club.
Beauty parlors and steam baths.
My bank vault.
My mother.
Lovey, why did you ruin everything? Ginger, I'll give you $500 for your olive.
Oh, Thurston, that's not fair.
You're right, dear. I'll make it 1,000.
Imagine $1,000 for an olive.
Without a martini?
Does anybody want any more string beans? We got 3 left.
Thurston, have some of those.
No, Lovey. If I can't have another olive, I'm not going to eat my string beans. Poor devil. The sun has finally got him. He thinks he's a duck.
Thurston, what can we do?
Nothing. He's safe as long as he doesn't try to fly.
Gilligan, will you come down here? We've got a lot of work to...
I can't understand it. That's our family whistle. Been in the family for years. Lovey, dear. Oh, they must be asleep. Lovey, dear. Lovey, dear.
When you were in his laboratory, did either one of you see a way to escape?
When I was me, I was too scared.
It's hopeless. Absolutely hopeless.
Thurston, I can't stand that voice coming out of your head.
Lovey, I'm still the same man. Remember, beauty's only skin deep.
Yes, but now you have somebody else's skin. This is Mrs. Thurston Howell the III, from Newport, New York, Palm Beach, and, of course, Paris, mon cher. I want to ask you about the new French fashions. I don't know what to wear when we're rescued.
Why don't you wear your blue dress?
My blue dress. Oh, that's perfect. How do you know I have a blue dress? Well, Gilligan found the hot water, therefore he owns it.
Well, my dear, I know he found it. I know he owns it. But I intend to merge his hot water company with my cattle company.
Well, what will that give you?
Boiled beef. Oh, Lovey, my dear. I did make a funny. Ah, my dear, this is just the thing. There you are.
Thurston, that's money.
Don't you see, darling, I intend to have Gilligan pipe his hot water into this trunk, and that way we'll always be able to have a hot bath.
But, Thurston, what's more important than money? Did you say a hot bath?
Exactly.
Faster, Thurston, faster. Thurston, aren't you ever going to sleep?
I'm thinking.
What about?
Those seeds, of course.
Gilligan promised to show us the mind-reading bush in the morning.
I just don't trust him.
Don't trust Gilligan? But that's ridiculous. He's the soul of honor.
Well, it so happens the soul of honor is bunking with Sinbad the sailor.
Oh, you don't mean you don't trust the captain?
That kind of trust made Julius Caesar a pincushion, my dear. Yes.
I never knew Julius Caesar was a pincushion.
I'm not half as sweet as you.
Well, you're twice as sweet as me.
Heavens to calories, what a conversation.
Things are going swimmingly.
Now we're getting sweet on each other, I'll say that.
Thurston, don't just stand there, run.
Howell never runs in the face of danger.
Oh!
He walks very fast.
Now, I wonder, what are we going to leave the dear, dear, dear professor?
How about that little island in the Pacific?
You mean Australia?
Am I me?
That you are.
Lovey, I'm back to me.
You kiss me and I'll belt you.
Sorry, Captain, but you do remind me of my wife. How are we going to get home?
This tablet.
Oh, well, do you think it's big enough for all of us?
No. You see, this tablet contains the secret to getting off the island.
Oh, secrets. I just love secrets.
Yes, if there's one thing I love to tell, it's a secret. How dare you? That's Mr. Howell's custom-made niblick. And aren't you ashamed, frightening poor Mr. Howell? And really, if I were you, I'd change tailors. Out, or I'll forget that I'm a Howell. There, dear. That nasty, overgrown monkey's all gone.
It's lucky for him that I fainted.
Yes, it is.
What'd I do?
What'd you do? You tried to make a midnight snack out of my wife's neck. That's what you tried to do.
Oh, no. I'm a vampire. I did it because I'm a vampire.
Oh, dear, the boy's overwrought. Fix him a Bloody Mary.
No, not a bloody Mary.
Mr. Heckham is going to help us get off the island, my dear.
Oh. What can I do for you, Mr. Hecuba?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. While I'm staying here at this island tenement, I'm going to need a butler and a maid, and you two will do very nicely.
Really?
This is the last straw. Rescue or no rescue, the Howells are servants to no man. Joe Martini.
So it is. Lovely.
The fraud was not Buckley Norris, but Boris Knuckley. All people married in Boston by the Right Reverend Buckley Norris are still married. Repeat, still married.
Thurston, we're still married.
Still married? Oh, let's go to the hut and make happy talk, Lovey. We're still married, isn't that marvelous? Oh, there they go. Ginger, Marianne.
Really, Thurston, you must learn to watch where you're going. Gilligan?
Where?
Here.
Ah, there you are, Gilligan, my boy. Any luck?
Oh, yeah. Ginger found it, see?
Well, it figures it wouldn't be among the oysters.
Well, it could have been.
No, it's impossible. This is July. There isn't any iron a month.
Oh, I never thought of that. Where's Mrs. Howell?
Well, she's in there.
Heavens to Fulton's Fish Market, I buried her! Lovey, where are you?
I just wish that dear Lovey were here. Where is that wonderful woman? Oh, Lovey!
Here I am.
Just like a Howell, always in the dough. Gilligan, Mrs. Howell is talking. You must look at her.
Well, okay, Mr. Howell, I'll try.
You know, dear, I think he's trying to tell us something.
Mr. Howell, why are you serving us?
I don't know. It's become force of habit. What's happened to me? What has happened to me?
Gilligan isn't rational in his present state.
Yes, of course, Professor, but he wouldn't stand a chance in the jungle all night.
Yeah, we've got to find him before it gets dark.
I suggest we organize search parties immediately. All right, let's go.
Yes, Lovey, I think you and I better go by way of our hut.
Thurston.
As I was passing the hut, I heard you call out in your sleep, and I thought I heard you say Cinderella.
Oh, I might have. I was dreaming I was Cinderella.
Yes, well, as long as you're all right, I know that you don't want to see me, my dear.
Oh, darling, I do. Oh, I've learned my lesson. Oh, my darling, you'll always be my prince.
Cinderella, it's almost midnight.
If you hurry, Thurston, you can kiss me for 6 more cuckoos.